Hi everybody, my name is Zechariah and today I'm going to be talking to you about the all-new Benjamin Akela in 22 caliber. I'm going to try to keep this short so as to not become boring. There's a lot to talk about with this gun, and I don't want to make a half-hour video that's going to bore you guys. So I'll try to stick to the high points, and if you're more interested in more information about it, because it's on your radar or you're considering buying one, just go ahead and follow my Instagram. I'll put it down below in the description. That'll just be easier for everybody, I think. I'll be posting about it a lot there. So the gun, Turkish walnut, obviously, super nice. It's very smooth, nice texturing on the handle here. It's very ergonomic. It fits your hand just perfect, or it fits mine at least. I have a pretty average sized hand, I think, so that'll probably be fine for you. Nice rubber butt plate here, textured. It grips your clothes actually when you shoulder it, and it's very balanced. It just feels nice to hold. Up here at the front and back, we've got swivel studs. My bipod uses a swivel stud, so I've got mine on it. If I were to take that off, you'd actually see a little brass nut there where you can actually take the rail that is included in the package and mount it there, so you can put like an Atlas bipod or something on there. So that's super handy. Adjustable cheek plate here, our cheek rest. It actually comes all the way off, and that's actually a pick rail, so you could, I'm sure they make them. I haven't seen one personally, but I'm assuming they exist. You could probably get a different one that's nicer and slide on there. But it's just super handy to have there. You can back the screw out and raise and lower that just a little bit. It's not super adjustable. It doesn't come up a whole lot, but it is adjustable nonetheless, so that is handy. The side lever action, obviously super nice, super smooth. I love it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan, I should say, of how you got to reach back here to actually operate it. So it'd be nice if it was up here, but it isn't, so it is what it is. But it's not terribly inconvenient. I mean, it's better than racking a bolt, that's for sure. So long Picatinny rail up here. I just mount my scope to it because I can put my IR on the side. But if you wanted to put some other accessories on here for whatever reason, totally doable. There's obviously lots of slots, so that's nice. It's got a big air cylinder, fully shrouded barrel. Out here, you can actually take this cap off. Lots of threads, and there's cones inside, and they create a baffle system that's very effective. This thing's really not quiet at all. It's only really got a bark if you put it on the highest power setting, and even then it's still backyard friendly. It's just what I would consider loud, but it's not gonna like hurt your ears necessarily or anything like that. But yeah, it's super quiet when you've got it on the lower power settings, which is very nice. You could add a moderator to it, but I personally don't think you would ever need to. Even on the highest power setting, you probably wouldn't need to, although it may be convenient to do so. Power settings, there's a knob here, okay? And you can twist it, and on the other side, you'll see what looks like a flathead screw, and it's gonna indicate where you're at on that scale. There's a plus sign and a minus sign and hash marks in between, and you can turn it anywhere in there. Now, it does not click into place, so it's smooth, and you can actually position it wherever you want on that spectrum. It doesn't have to be right on a power setting, which I think is really nice. So you can actually you could go through and do tiny itty bitty turns if you wanted in chronograph or hit whatever you wanted and put it to exactly where you want the power. And that's aside from the hammer spring adjustment. So, which I didn't mess with that. But the power adjustment here is really nice. Now, granted, you'll eat up air a lot faster if you go high. You'll conserve air if you go low, obviously. But it is nice to have that adjustment right there. You can do it on the fly, no problem. Other than that, I don't know what else there's to say. I mean, you can take the, right here in the bottom, there's a screw that you can take out and take this out of the stock, and you turn it upside down and rest it. I found it's actually super convenient to do it when the scope's on it, because I've got flat sides on my scope. But anyway, you can just set it down, and when it's upside down, you can see a bar there that has a nut on it, and you can back that off and tighten it up, and you can adjust the trigger that way. So I did find if you make the trigger too light, which it is 2-stage by the way, if you put the safety on it, obviously that trigger moves just a little bit. I found if I tighten it up too much, it will still fire unsafe. So you do need to be careful of that. Obviously that's a risk you'll run if you go tight, if you make your trigger too light. But it is actually a here, I don't have a pellet, I'll show you. So I can move that trigger like that, but it hits that little wall, and as soon as I brake, it fires. So it's nice. I like the way it feels. It's definitely a wall. There's no question about it. You'll know you're there whenever you're squeezing the trigger. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to say about the mechanics of it. It's nice. It feels good. It's hefty, but it's not like terribly heavy. I mean, you'll have no problem actually holding this thing. Okay, like it's not unbearable. It just feels really heavy duty, you know. And I think a lot of people who are looking for a hunting gun like this, that's exactly what you want. You're not going to feel bad about hitting this thing like on a tree in the woods or something, or even, I mean, I hope you wouldn't drop it, but if you did, I would feel better about dropping this than some of the other, you know, more anorexic guns that I've had. So accuracy, this thing shoots 1/4 inch groups, even sub 1/4 inch groups at 45 yards. I tested lots of pellets. I think 23 pellets I tested. 6 of them, I want to say, did well. I know off the top of my head it was the Crossman 14.3 grains at 45 yards, the Crossman 19 grains, JSB 15.89, JSB 18.13s. And when I say 15.89s, the Hades did not do well out of mine like just the regular jumbo exacts did. Now the Hades may do well out of yours, so I'm not saying don't buy them. But I just want to clarify, 15.89, it was just the jumbo exacts. The Stratons didn't do too great. They're also 15.89s, or at least the ones I have are. They were okay. I was actually really surprised. They shoot so well out of all my other guns. This is the first gun I've shot them out of that did not love them. But even then, they did okay. The hybrid slugs did okay, and the JSB knockouts did barely okay. To be honest, I wouldn't shoot those past 45 yards. The hybrid slugs did fine though. You can certainly do a body shot on a medium game animal with them. Backed it out to 65 yards, and the groups did start to open up a bit. Not terribly. They were certainly still usable. They were not what I would consider by any means like competition worthy shots, but they were hunting worthy. But you're going to need to find your own pellets that are going to fly well out of this. I found several that generically just worked well at 45 yards, which I think is, in my experience and from what I've seen and talked to people, 45 is really the longest hunting shots you're going to take regularly. Now granted, there's always like this fluke opportunity to take a really long shot if you're doing true hunting, and you could take those shots with this if you have the right pellet. You'll just need to find it. Along with the accuracy, the power or the pressure is obviously a big factor there. Being unregulated, your power is going to fluctuate up and down. I found it, you know, they advertise a 1,000 PSI working range, and it certainly has that. But I found that to get the most accuracy, you're going to want to find a 500 PSI working range. For me, it was 27 to 22, and that's where I found the least variance up and down, okay? Across my 1,000 PSI, from 3,000 to 2,000, I found that a pellet that was shooting super tight groups could have actually, it went up an inch, it went down an inch. Okay, that's a big variance up and down over the course of the tube of air. So what I did find is that within a 500 PSI range, you have almost none of that. Now you'll have to find that 500 PSI range. I can't promise it will be 3,000 to 25 or 25 to 2,000 or even lower than that. For me, it was 27 to 22, and on my power settings, the pellets I'm using, I got almost no variance up and down, and this thing was just stacking pellets on each other at 45 yards. It was awesome, super accurate. It's as accurate as any other gun, I would say, at 45 yards, but you have to find that 500 PSI working range that's gonna suit your pellets and your needs the best to do that. So be aware of that. So basically what I'm saying is I can't promise you pull this thing out of the box and start shooting and it's just gonna stack pellets right away. You're definitely gonna wanna break it in, find the right pellet, and find the best working range for you. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say. I killed 3 raccoons with it. I killed a rabbit with it. I haven't had a chance to kill a squirrel yet because generally I just do a good job of keeping them out of my yard. But I killed a raccoon with it. So, I mean, that means it'll kill a fox for sure. Just the math, looking at it mathematically, it could kill a coyote. I don't necessarily know that I'm going to try that if I even get the opportunity. But the math is there, so as a responsible hunter, you'll have to decide what you should or should not do. But it is there, and of course, we all know it's hard to get within 50 yards of a coyote anyway. So, do with that what you want. Great gun. I had video of the 3 raccoons and the rabbit I shot, but during the transfer of the files, I lost them, and I was gonna put them in this review for you guys. But I do have pictures, I'll post those on my Instagram. If you want this gun, get it. You're not gonna regret it, but not at all, okay? I mean, in the $600, $650 range, I don't know of any guns that are going to outperform this. Now, sure, there's other guns out there. I'm sure you could find one that's on par, but this does exactly what it's supposed to do. It said they advertised 1,000 feet per second with lead pellets, 14.3 grains. They got 1,007, so it actually does match what they say online. I know a lot of times we see 1,000 and we assume, okay, well, with lead, then it must be 850 or so. That's not true with this gun at all. I got over 1,000 feet per second. So it does exactly what they say it's gonna do, and I think it does it really, really well. So no regrets here. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Like I said, I'll put my Instagram in the description. You can message me there. Follow my post there. I'm gonna be shooting this for several months, and I'm gonna be really figuring out every facet of this gun, and I'm going to be posting about it there to educate anybody who's interested in it. So if this gun's on your radar, give me a follow, or not, I don't care, honestly. But the information will be there for you, and that's for you. So that's really all I've got to say about it now. I'll tag a clip to the end of this video of me shooting with it just to demonstrate some of the accuracy and power, and I hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching.